All right, guys, so do you have this problem where you have a door here and during the winter it's just getting snow packed up here, and during the summer it gets hot, you can't open the door without letting all the flies in? Well, I'm going to show you how to fix that problem. So the solution to that problem is a storm door like this, and they're pretty inexpensive. You can pick them up at your local hardware store. All you want to be aware of is the size. So you want to get the same size as the door. So if the door is a 32-inch door and you can measure your frame, that's going to be the same size, and I'm going to show you how to measure that in a second. But you're going to pick up the same size storm door as you do for an interior door, and honestly installing this is really easy, and I'm going to show you how to do it. So figuring out the size is very easy. Just go up to your trim here, and right now I can see that it's just a little inside 31, and it's almost 31 and a half. This is a 32-inch door. So what I have to do is I've got to take this trim and push it out, or I got to cut it so that the storm door will fit, because storm doors, again, it's going to be 32 like this door, or it's going to be 30, and a 30 would mean I'd have to build out the sides here, and that would be a different size as the door. So I actually want to pull this trim and pull it back. I can see that it's been pushed out too far here, so I can pull this trim, push it back over. All right, so for my tolerance for this door, and that means how far I can have in between here, it's 31 7/8 to 32. So I need to measure from here to here, make a line, make a mark. I'm gonna make a mark at 32 and just go all the way, and that way I know where to set my trim. And if it's inside that a little bit, it's okay. I just need to make sure I have enough room. Okay, unfortunately, it looks like I gotta trim my board a little bit. Now, I know I have another problem with this overhang here, which means I'm gonna have to put a little bit of a modification up here and put something at the top. Now, to figure out the modification for the top of my door, I essentially need to do a cross and then about this, but my level is not long enough. So I'm gonna take another board here, put my level on the bottom of it. And that'll tell me the top of my rail where I need that to be. Then what I can do, level across. There. Now that's a pretty big gap. I got to drop this down to clear that overhang, but it is what it is, I guess. So fortunately, I got room at the bottom. That's the other challenge. If you have to move it down, got to make sure you have room at the bottom. All right, first let's get it apart. Just tear here. Don't cut it, because you'll cut the door. All right, so we should be good now on our modifications. This is moved over, and I've got a piece at the top. I don't like it, but I don't have a lot of other options unless I cut this overhang back, and I really don't want to do that. So I'm going to go with what I got. Let's get that door installed. All right, so first we got to decide our swing, and this can go either direction. That's nice about this, but we want our handle on the same side as the door handle. So right now, let's take a look, and I'll show you how we figure out our swing. So my door handle is right here. So I want my hinge over here because I want the door to swing open like this. So let's go ahead and get the hinge side set. All right, what we want to do is we want to take our hinge, which is going to be this piece here. Now, again, we're going to push this all the way up to the top. Now, on this Larson door, there's a spot right here. So we're going to make a mark right in the middle of it. So it's a little horseshoe. We want to mark in the middle of the, or fish side, whatever you want to call it, we'll call it mark in the middle. And then we're going to put a screw there, and then when we set it in place, it's going to slide down and give us enough room to put in our top piece. So that's what we want to do there. And now let's put a screw in there. Now, it's important we pre-drill all our holes, because if we don't, we're going to split out our trim and then we're going to cause ourselves even more problems. So take a 1/8 inch drill bit and pre-drill it. Now, if you want to pre this to exactly 1 inch, you can put a piece of tape on here at the 1 inch mark. That's fine. I don't care that much. It's not a big deal. So we'll pre-drill that, then put our 1 inch screw in. This is going to be a painted one. Leave it hanging out about that much. Now let's start putting together our door. Now, this is the inside of the door, okay? And we want it to swing. We want this to be the inside, so this is going to be the side of the handle, and this is going to be the side with the hinge. So let's go ahead and flip this over. And this is our top, and this is our bottom. So realistically, it's easier if you just flip this over so that we have the back of the door up. And then our top is over here. So now we know this is going to sit like this on the inside of the door. We're going to line this up with that one screw. We're going to mark each of these little holes right there, 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 there. And then of course, down here on the end, go ahead and remove this. And we're going to go through and just pre-drill each one of those. Now we can take our 1 inch screws. And again, we're not using that little small one anymore. Like that. Tighten that on a little bit. Take the next one. Tighten it on. Just trying to hold this up, essentially, before I start tightening everything down. Now the other thing is there's going to be a couple bottom caps here. Go ahead and put this on right now. Otherwise you're going to have to, otherwise it's going to be kind of a pain to put it on later. You can adjust it later. Go ahead and put it on. All right, now take our door. Let's hang it. Now we set a screw already in there for us to hang this door. So go ahead and hook it on that screw and let it hang. And we are good there. Now you just make sure you got clearance, and we're good there. We got clearance. It's not as perfect as I'd like it to be, but that's okay. It still needs to be tightened down. Now what I want to do is I'm going to go through and each of these little spots where it looks like a fish or whatever, mark those, mark the top of them, and then we're going to pre-drill. We'll pull the door and pre-drill. You can also mark these if you want to as well. That'll be fine, because you're going to have to pre-drill those. So I just mark them all at this point. Now the other thing I want to do is just check my swing and make sure I'm good there, and I am. I could probably be up a little higher, but I think this is okay. Now I'm just going to go through and pre-drill all these little holes. They do tend to line up sometimes a little bit better if you just do the big ones and then come back and pre-drill the other ones. But it's a preference thing. Okay. Now the jam side is in, so now we need to install our drip cap. And that's just going to go like this. Slide right over the top. Now I'm going to take a level, just make sure it's sitting level, because I want the jam to be level as well. Though sometimes it doesn't matter. You might have to modify. But you want to push this all the way over here in the corner so the two line up. Get it as level as you can. And then we'll mark our holes. All right, let's put the other piece on here, push it all the way up to the top, butt it up, and then just mark your holes here. Pre-drill. I'm going to get a couple screws in and then check my door swing to make sure I'm good. Before I get everything set up, I want to make sure the door opens and closes without any issues. And I'm good. Perfect. Beautiful. Yep, looks good. All right, so now let's pull this guy off. Now on the bottom here, we have our door sweep. So this just goes on. 2 screw holes to the inside. Just put it on like that. Now, the goal of this is when it closes, it's going to go all the way down to the bottom. I can adjust this down a little bit, but I can't go all the way. So there's not a lot of point in pushing this all the way down. So I'm not even going to try. I'm just going to adjust it down a little bit and call it good. So get it down to about where you can. Again, these are small holes. And even once it's in, there's a little bit of an adjustment that can be made. But again, for me, there's just not much I can do without building the bottom up. All right, so that's the door. There's 2 more pieces of this. We got the handle, and then we got the door closer. So let's get started with the handle. It's going to be about the same spot as the other handle here, and it's pretty easy to install. Now for the handle, there's no perfect height for it. Kind of do what's comfortable. Normal height for a handle on a door is going to be about 36 inches. So that's probably where I'm going to set it. Maybe a little higher, maybe right there. That's where I'm going to start that. It's about normal height. Kind of adjust it based on your situation, but that's about normal height. Then what we want to do is we just want to take our template here. We want to set it like this. Wrap it around that door like that. And that's going to tell us where we're going to pre-drill our holes right there. So again, 5/8, you can, the directions say start with a 1/8 inch drill bit, which you can, or you could just do this. Make a little mark. And these holes are going to go all the way through. So now we're going to take this piece here, which is our outside piece. Stick this in there. Take this, put it over like that. Put this on your outside. This goes in the middle. Then on the inside, you have this. Now you're going to want to put this straight up and down. We'll slide right on there like that. Then you've got 2 longer screws. And we'll tighten down like that. Got a couple of screws that are just a little bit longer, and they're flat. They're painted as well. Put those in here. There's that. And there's the handle. Very simple mechanism, easy to use. Now, the next part of this, of course, is the latch. So we need to go inside, figure out where our latch is, and attach that. And we've got 3 plates here to help build this up if we need to. Now, if you want more information on how to install the closer, check out my other video. I'll link to it right here and be at the end of the video. As always, thanks for watching. Catch you on the next one.